Johar and welcome to yet another session of Tribal Design Forum at Tribal Futures, a month-long session, a month-long online festival to celebrate contemporary tribal imagination. My name is Swati Sushmita Lakra and I shall be the host for today. The Tribal Design Forum is a vibrant community of multidisciplinary designers and creative professionals from various tribes of India. For the past 3 years, we have been gathering here regularly, interacting with domain experts, learning from them, and exploring ways to use art, design, and technology for the benefit of our communities. In fact, Tribal Design Forum has curated some of the finest works from the artists, designers, and creative professionals who have previously spoken on our platform. We are currently organizing a month long online festival showcasing and celebrating contemporary tribal imagination from the 1st to the 31st of August every evening at 7:30 p.m. More details about this festival can be found at www.tribaldesignforum.com. These sessions are also live streamed on our YouTube channel. That said, continuing on our quest to showcase and appreciate the brilliant work of artists, designers, and creative professionals from tribal communities, we are here today to delve into the journey of Rida Hunlang Katpu, a talented designer and musician, to our webinar today. Rida is passionate about preserving and promoting the rich cultural heritage of Meghalaya through her work. Takti Crafts. Today, Rita will share with us how she is blending traditional craftsmanship with contemporary designs to create stunning artisanal products. Hailing from Khasi community, she'll also discuss the importance of empowering local artisans and building a platform for them to showcase their talent. Get ready to be inspired by Rita's innovative approach to cultural preservation. Stay tuned to the question answer session. After the presentation, where you can ask her about her work and the impact of Dakti crafts. The presentation by Rita will be of 30 to 45 minutes, followed by 30 minutes of question answer. Please feel free to put your questions or comments in the chat while the presentation is on. We would be keen to take up your questions with Rita at the Q&A session. Due to paucity of time, we shall be able to only take the first 5 questions that appear in our chat box. So keep your questions ready to make the session an interactive one. Rita, we are indeed delighted to have you come and speak with us. The floor is all yours.
Hello, Swati, and good evening, everyone who's present here. I'm very honored to have been able to make it to the session of TDF and really looking forward to share this presentation with you. It's been a long journey for us, Dakti, and it's a great platform, I think, to share this story behind. And I'll just put in the slide, and I hope you would go through it, and probably after this presentation, we'll be able to go through certain questions that you may have. So to start with, I have been back in Meghalaya now over the past 20 years. When the journey began, in fact, when I moved out of Bombay, from Meghalaya, and moved to other parts of India. And I've been working in the sector of design when I moved out right after my graduation from NIFT, and I was working with the corporate sector, where I realized that, we can change a certain meaning of design. And obviously, for me, it was still a very initial understanding of where I come from. And in fact, it was a big learning experience for me to actually move out of the state and, learn. So this journey, in fact, I would be spending about 30 minutes to just share with you the journey of how we began. So back in Bombay, it was actually a very interesting learning for me, because after the corporate world, the retail, you see so much the shift in terms of, the way people look at the demand and how we consume. So eventually, for me, after a decade in Bombay, I realized that there's a trouble, and we kind of noticed that there's a lot of mess in the environment. And that's why, realizing this, I noticed that, as human, we are trying to kind of look at making our choices. So where I come from here is actually to create something that, I have to make it where I come from. Is the shift between the city and back here, Meghalaya, where we have difference as the in the city of land here. And so this journey has been very inspiring, and there's going to be one after the other that I'm going to share with you that continue as we go through this journey. So when we shift through this time, I was in Bombay many years back, and when I came to Meghalaya, I realized that there's so much that we can learn from nature. Because being in Bombay, I noticed that the surrounding is very different. The air, the wind, everything, the water we drink was very different from the taste that we get over here. So it's just uh, trying to look at the situation where I was and trying to discover. So over the years, I've been traveling. When I came back to Meghalaya, basically we kind of look at certain ways of collaborating and also trying to kind of create something impactful. So a bunch of us, when I came back in Meghalaya, NIF and IFT Shillong just started. So we were part of this documentation of the craft in Meghalaya, but we don't really see the way that we can change. So we've kind of independently taken. When I met Peter, who's also a designer from NID, we realized that we can actually do certain interventions through design when we travel these villages. So we've moved to various villages, discovering the skills of the people. We've conducted workshops in some of the villages, but as we moved in this time, the spaces, we also see many other activities in Meghalaya. Even though we are so blessed with the nature, the biodiversity, everything, but we see a lot of mining activities, which was not very comfortable. And we realized that we could change this by working towards it, and eventually we have to connect with the people and the environment. And that's when we moved to this one particular village where we had met these instrument makers in Waken. This village is in East Khasi Hills, and they're known for instrument making. And when we went there, we realized that, every day we travel, we see the nature around, and also the tunes that they have over there. It's very connected to the environment, the beauty of the craft, which was slowly dying because there are very few people. As you can see in this photograph, we have people who are practicing the craft, also the traditional practice, but the younger generation didn't want to take it forward. So we collaborated with them, and obviously we had to kind of express ourselves through music, because since they work with traditional instruments, we had come up with an ecological art project where we thought, why don't we tell these stories and share it with the rest of the world? So eventually we learned a lot about the craft, and as we traveled, not just in this village, we moved on to another village where bamboo cane is practiced very much. Also, we've moved to Jaintia Hills where we learned the art of pottery. And since we've been working with these clusters, we realized that we need to kind of encourage, create a certain contribution, innovation, and also intervention where we kind of um contribute to them in a way that can help them to sustain this practice. In this photograph, this is a village in Jaintia Hills called Tirshang. They have very few people then back in 2012, where just a group of 3, 4, 5 women who were practicing the craft, and it was not really, visible. Excuse me. So just going through the next. So in fact, we travel to these villages, as in the images you can see that we try to kind of innovate, understanding the market, also trying to take it out of the state. Excuse me. Okay, I'm so sorry. I just have a little cough.
It's all right.
So yeah, sorry, and just wanted to share with you. The slide is not moving. The slide is not moving.
Yeah, the slide is not moving. Yes, it is
Yeah.
now.
Okay. So mainly I'm sharing most of these visuals of the time that we've gone to certain villages in Meghalaya. We kind of understand and identified the craft and the skill of these people. And eventually we realized that most of these practices are slowly dying. We kind of did a little research, quite a bit, and it's been very challenging because of the journey. Most of these places are very much in the remote area of Meghalaya, where the terrains, the roads are not proper, the connectivities are very difficult. So for us, we had these challenges and we've moved on. It's been like more than 4 or 5 years that we've just been on the road and meeting people from various parts of the villages in Meghalaya. And obviously, we realize that we need to kind of create a space where we can uh, connect these people and do certain interventions. That's when we kind of collaborated with these people and have the space in this part of Meghalaya in Ribhoi district, where we thought we should kind of create a setup where we can do more workshops and training, also contribute to the material processing and better research R&D with the craft here. So we've been trying to grow, understand the soil, and try to create also certain high value products through these experiences. That's when Dakti came about, and the main motto of us is to conserve nature and preserve traditions, where we kind of look at the craft as one of the main opportunity for us to build upon and create opportunities also because of the kind of skill that we have. So over the years now, we've come up with certain spaces where we can do training, we can do R&D, we can also do processing, material processing. So in Meghalaya currently, right now, we are having a pottery unit, which is mainly for material processing. And we work with the packaging, demonstration workshops. And also in Shillong, we've come up with a studio where we can also create a lab, a prototype lab, where we can also exhibit and create certain more projects and interventions. Um, this is the space that we have where we've worked over the years and collected certain craft. Currently, right now, I'm in this space. As you can see, we have certain things. So back to where we're talking about the studio. In Ribhoi, we've been having this space more than starting about 6 years now that we work with our training programs, also creating the space to grow the material, mainly the processing. And we do a lot of treatment for the bamboo. We are trying to do a testing in our natural dye and processings of any other material that we grow in this land. So here are a few of the photos. So we tried to kind of retain the techniques where we use natural treatment where we don't use chemicals. So that is one research that we've been working over the years. So we have certain programs that also we are looking in the future to have certain residency program where people also can come and learn in this space. Certain workshops that we've conducted in this studio in Riboy district. And obviously, over the years, we've got also empaneled with the Meghalaya State Skill Development. And we've been doing training with around more than 10 clusters across Meghalaya, from Jaintia Hills to Garo Hills, also the West Khasi Hills. Under this program, our main motive is to actually understand the nature of the craft and also help. It's very challenging to come up with finishes, and that's why tool development is very important, that we concentrate and distribute also these tools to the community so that it can help in scaling and also better finishes. So we've tried to kind of make very hands-on tools so that they can easily maintained. And with the challenges in Meghalaya, as you can see, we don't have that kind of energy. So most of the tools that we create doesn't require that kind of energy. So over the years, these training has kind of also made us realize certain needs of the artisans community. And these tools have really helped in making finer products. So curating all these products, actually working with communities who practice with cane, bamboo, or many other materials, even textile, for example, they need certain interventions, mainly with the tools. So here also certain villages we've kind of distribute and made it a part of the training where they use it, and also we connect them. With the government of Meghalaya, also we've come up with certain support where we push the artisans community to, get their skill support in terms of, creating space for them to be able to uh, produce more. And obviously, through this program, we've selected more than 50 artisans community from across Meghalaya with the support to help them, create their own space, and also with the monetary support that they have, they can get into further, you know, um, scaling up of the production, mainly further training and further, enhancing of the craft and the production. So in this workshop, in fact, we've kind of did a lot of sharing with the artisans from Garo Hills. Also in the Khasi Hills, we have a separate session. And so understanding the artisans community is very important, I realize, because with the background, the kind of communication level that they have, we have to kind of look into how we can find ways to be able to create that impact for them also, and also generate value, income, and sustainable approach for them also to continue their craft. In fact, we also invited Horo for this event, and it was a very beautiful session that we had from Tribal Design Forum, that had come and shared his background in terms of the knowledge that how we can bring forward the community, especially these practices, alive and continue and make it a better practice for everyone. Because if you look at the craft sector, it's not really look at in a way that people value or they want to continue. Most of the younger generation don't want to take it forward, so we've end up working with a lot of older people. But by us being there, I think we've encouraged also Dakti. Now over the years, we've grown with a bigger team where when we visit these villages, we create these awareness program. we share knowledge, we kind of contribute in terms of whatever we can so that they also get that kind of an encouragement and empowerment, and also look at, there's a potential for them to grow. So not just with the artisans community, we also try to create this awareness program, because I think even in schools, we have to kind of bring this understanding. We had this one session with Intact where we want to kind of share the crafts which is endangered here in Meghalaya. So we had this one training session where the students were amazed to know that, there's something like this in Meghalaya. So I feel like we should look at this where we should spread it in schools, also in various other institutions where they take this and learn part of the practice. And this will also help to bring the culture alive, create a sustainable approach to whatever they have been. In fact, with the Arts and Culture Department also of Meghalaya, we've come up with this program where we have identified certain crafts of Meghalaya, certain villages to be identified as the crafts village. So we've identified about 6 of these villages, which are very much to do with the craft practices. The first village that you can see in this image is Amanda Gray, which is the wood carving village. This is in Garo Hills. The second village, as you can see, is again with the instrument makers who are in East Khasi Hills. This village is called Wakhen. They have an institute called the Singh Institute, where they still kind of continue their work and teaching the younger generation. So in fact, when we first visited, it was just a handful of people. But now if you go to Wakhen village, you'll see like all the students, actually the kids in the village, they come to this institute and learn. So it's very encouraging to see that. Similarly, with the Black Pottery, it also has got identified as the Black Pottery Village of Meghalaya. Then here we have Pahambir is more for the woodwork and the folklore. So they have many stories in these villages, which is very much connected to the craft and the storytelling. In the below that, we can see Mairang village, where a lot of arts community, they come, and also they've been practicing this. In fact, the whole district now been trying to kind of bring this community, the arts community, also to create a bigger platform and support for this. The other village, Tangmang, is also for bamboo weaving. It has also been identified as one of the arts and craft village. So we are very proud that these remote villages now have come up in the pages, and people can read about it. In fact, people now are visiting these villages because they're now known, and uh, the Gazette has been out as well. So that is something that I feel like we've been able to kind of highlight these crafts in Meghalaya. I'm going through very quickly, but yeah, this is another recent workshop that we had in our unit in Jaintia Hills. This is with the potters, the black clay pottery, which is in Jaintia Hills. We just got a GI tag for this pottery, and we had this opportunity to collaborate with NID, which is a part of this one district, one product. So it's mainly to create a understanding, sensitization for the craft, and how they can use the GI for the craft and have a better opportunity for them also. So it's a very proud moment. Those 2 villages mainly learn outcome, and 2-day workshops we had, but it's been a very you're interconnected. Where we had taken about 10
The video got stuck.
So we've done these trainings more technically with. Okay.
Yeah. Rita, we are facing some issues. Um, we can't hear you. You're not audible. Plus, I think the screen has frozen.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
Swati?
Rita,
Okay, let's just go. Yeah, I'm just going back to this.
yes, sure.
All right, sorry, I think there's some kind of a connection.
No problem.
Okay, so the extent currently on with the design approach to what they've been doing over the years. So we've
Uh, Rita, I'm sorry to interrupt. We are unable to see
forward
your
that,
screen.
we can diversify currently. So with
We have lost Rita right now, but she'll be joining soon. While Rita is trying to reconnect, um, tomorrow for the upcoming session, we have Vara Vargas Lara from Bolivia. She will be presenting at 9:30 p.m. on indigenous imagination and indigenous identities. Vara has been our jury member for TDF photography contest in 2022. We also have Teja Rao, a young Angami filmmaker. His unique perspective on ambition and significance. We will be discussing around these topics at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. Rita has rejoined. We shall continue. Rita, we are able to see your folder. We are unable to see the presentation.
Swati,
Yes.
okay, I'm just sharing the presentation. I don't know why it's not coming. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see your folder. You can try resharing again, but keep your presentation open. And when you share the presentation, not the folder.
Okay, is it clear? Is it
Yes, now it is.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going back to where we just ended with the training. So these are the arts and craft villages and a part of our ODOP training program that we have with these village. This is the textile training. So moving back is I'm just gonna take you back to our events and what we've been doing over the years to kind of create and celebrate what we've kind of promote with the with the craft community, starting with the affair where we started back in 2015, where we wanted to bring this culture to other parts of India. Starting in Mumbai, we had a the affair event where we had brought in certain crafts and also certain performances. Similarly, but currently, right now, we are also having a festival where we kind of promote the community, the crafts. So mainly, Winter Tales is a green festival where we bring in all the crafts community under one platform where they can share, they can demonstrate. So we have certain kind of program, which is a 3-day program. It happens every December. Last year was the 4th edition, and again this year we will be having in December. Just taking you through this video.
Hello.
Frida, we are unable to hear the music.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, I think the visual you were able to hear the. Now you can hear me?
yes, yes. Fine.
Is it audible?
No, it is not audible.
We can let the audio pass. It's okay.
It's
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I think so. Just play the next one. How do I share the audio? Is there a way to share the audio?
Rita, never mind. It's okay. The visual is good enough.
This is the Meghalaya niche, the store.
Healing for the human, non-human. Healing for the soul, the oceans and the sky.
This is a part of the curation we are having. It's called the Meghalaya niche, the store where we are trying to promote the art and craft community, homegrown, handpicked, and handcrafted from Meghalaya. So, also we have come up with certain other events where we are trying to promote. This is another evening market that we have. Why is it down? Yeah, so those are few of the events that we have to promote crafts, whether it's at the store in New Delhi or in Shillong. We have this festival that we organize every year. So is the evening market that we are planning to promote, which is again a seasonal market. These are few of the crafts that we've taken part of the G20 summit in 2023. The showcase of Meghalaya Pavilion during that event, and also other parts of promotions with the local practices where we've taken our artisans community to showcase. This is one of the festival we had last year, Meghalaya Pineapple Festival, where we had this craft from Meghalaya, which is to do with the pineapple yarn, the fiber. So we had that demonstration. We also have few other events in the store where we take certain of these collaborations with other artists, and we try to promote our store and share the stories from Meghalaya. So it's been like now the second year, almost coming to the end of the second year that we have been curating the store, but it's been a long journey, but very impactful because we are able to kind of connect people from our parts, from Meghalaya to the rest of the community in India so far. And also we've tried to kind of showcase the brand and bring in these the promotions, the kind of curation we work with, telling stories. We've come up with a certain range of from our crafts, black pottery to our cane and bamboo in various sections under wellness, lighting, decor. If you go to our website, maybe you'll get to see. So just sharing with you the slides of the journey of the materials, and the journey so far with us has just been amazing, I would say, but also it's very enriching to the community here in Meghalaya. And we are looking forward for more interventions and bringing these stories and sharing it, and keep practicing, and also enrich the meaning of what we do and create a better environment. And also nature is one to consider as the main approach for us to keep everything going. And I feel like with Dakti, the word itself, the impressions of the hand, is something that us humans should nurture nature. So it's something that we would like to share further. And in this presentation, I'm just able to put this much. Anything that you would like to ask, and also, with the regard to the team here in Shillong, we have with us Peter, also Gopal with us. This is also the group, the last photograph, which we have with the team here. We have a design team, we have the product development team, we have a team who would help in packaging, logistics. So it's building up, we're growing, and we would like to share further with the rest of the community, especially the tribal community. We coming in from the small region here in, part of India. We would like to do anything that can support this, this practice, mainly with the craft and, the culture here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rita. Before we get into the question answer session, we will have a short announcement of the upcoming events that is coming on by Tribal Design Forum. We are organizing 2 days, 2 boot camps of 3 days each, where we meet in person, interact, and learn from each other through collaborative workshops and immersive experiences with the local communities and culture, while we focus on developing strategies for social, cultural, and economic development of the tribal communities in the region through art, design, and technology. The first boot camp is on 2nd of October to 4th of October at Kohima with the tribal communities of Nagaland. And the second boot camp is from 6th of October to 8th of October at Ukhrul with the Tangkhul Naga community. People interested in joining can visit our website at www.tribaldesignforum.com and register to get the detailed information regarding the participation in the bootcamp. So we shall start the question answer round. Rita,
Yeah.
the first question for you is on balancing the tradition and modernity. So how do you strike a balance between preserving the authenticity of traditional Meghalayan crafts while incorporating contemporary design elements to appeal to a wider audience?
Okay, so it's actually the need actually mainly, because when you look at, for example, our black pottery, when we had started off, it was actually the only product that they make was to sell here in the market, which is locally available in the daily hearts. Not daily, actually, it's a once in a week heart. But when we had introduced these products where we came up with certain design intervention, where we took it out of the state, we managed to kind of create a newer line of product where people can also kind of use it. That's why we also have been retaining the practice, the techniques without changing much and keeping the identity of the craft, but also bringing in newer designs to the material where we don't change much in terms of the practice. Mainly we try to keep the skill, when you talk even with when it comes to cane and bamboo. In Meghalaya, it's a daily practice where they use it as a very functional product. Cane and bamboo is used for our daily chores, for farming activities. So we see the skill and we kind of see what we can bring into the other market. Because if you look at rural and when you understand the urban need, we have to kind of design. So we've taken our traditional shapes, we've taken our traditional patterns and bringing it to a new design. That's how we've implemented, as you see, our pottery. We've tried to do a lot of interventions with it in terms of design. So that's how it kept, the need also alive, the market flowing, and the livelihood of the people also is engaged.
So, what are the primary challenges you encounter when collaborating with local artisans to modernize traditional craft techniques, and how do you overcome them?
So basically, with the tool development program that we have is something that we saw the challenges actually, mainly with the kind of techniques. It's very slow, it takes effort to kind of produce. So bringing up with this, it took us time to identify, and obviously through these training program over the years now, we've managed to kind of train further, distribute these tools. This has really helped actually bring in more unique products. Also, it has helped the work also in terms of how they've been able to produce over the years. Now we are able to see the numbers, and also we are also seeing the interaction in the community itself. Since these are new tools, it helps them. It's not the usual, how they practice, especially when it's time consuming. It's something that people lose interest very quickly. So we've tried to understand, and in our training also we've tried to develop certain ways of taking work and distribution, because craft in Meghalaya is very seasonal. It's not like the activity they practice every day. It's a very seasonal practice. So accordingly, we have to kind of balance and work accordingly to the need also of the time that they are engaged in the craft.
So, how has Dakti Crafts contributed to the economic empowerment of the local community, particularly women and marginalized groups?
So as you saw in the presentation, with so many communities now that we've been going, because of the store in New Delhi, now we have an online platform. Also, we have certain linkage with other markets beyond just these two stores, but also selling it outside. So it's been through these events that we are able to promote and also sell further and create that market linkage. So it's been progressing over the years. That's what I can say now. It's been like more than 5 years with the scaling of especially our pottery. We have earlier just 5 ladies working, but now we have more than 30 people engaged. So it's become like a growing community.
That's great. So could you elaborate on the sustainable practices implemented by Dakti Crafts, both in terms of production and material sourcing?
So yeah, it's mainly about using the material well from the time you process it. It starts from the processing itself, where we keep it organic. We use as much possible ways to enrich the craft by adding certain tools that will help them in creating obviously these products. And also when it comes to management, when it comes to packaging, we have introduced a lot of sustainable approach to introduce, because those are all part of the design, in fact, and using local materials as much as we can. And also recycling is one of the approach that we've been introducing in our packaging. So we've used enough raw material, in fact, over the years to teach local artisans that they should, for example, our pottery, we've been using hay to do packaging, and it has really helped them because it's available locally, it's sustainable practice. So we've been also Winter Tales, it's a green festival where we share a lot about the sustainable practices. We conduct demonstrations, workshops. So these are all part of the experiences that we create awareness and also teach the younger generation. So I feel like it starts small, but I feel over the years Winter Tales has grown and people are able to see that it's a right approach, and it gives a very meaningful and impactful, sustainable approach to, especially when you look at the environment. Mm, yeah, economic value as well. I think, Swati, I'm not able to. Am I audible?
Yes, Rita, you are audible. Swati
Okay.
will be right back.
So,
Hi, Rita.
hi,
Margaret
Margaret.
here.
Hi, Margaret. Good
So
to see you.
meantime, I want to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Since you guys are doing a very good work, with a community and things like that. So, how has it been in a sense, like, from your side, you have been working with the community and the community, like, catering to all the market needs. What are the hiccups initially, like when you guys started?
Okay. When we started, actually, it was just me and Peter, in fact, in the beginning. We had another designer, Navakoti. We've been very independent, in fact. It started off back in 2012, 13. There was no support actually from the government side because there was no recognition at that point. So for us, I think we took these training programs. I think Peter also is here. He also know this. We took these training programs and didn't see much of an impact creating. These training programs just end in 15 days and we don't see the linkage. And obviously the practice slowly dies. And a lot of these crafts are slowly dying, in fact, during that time. But we kind of took it within, a small group of us. We independently started off with small exhibitions. We participated with Dustcar. It was the first exhibition back in 2014. The feedback, the experience was very enriching for us because the kind of, the people who came and saw, they never know about this pottery before. And when we took it to Delhi, I think we had a very good connect with the people and it just pushed us. And we managed to independently work through word of mouth mainly, and also through common friends, we exhibited, showcased the brand in smaller platforms. But yeah, it's been challenging, but I feel like when COVID happened, that's when we really kind of took the opportunity because everything else was kind of shut down during the COVID time. And the only thing that was there was work from home. And obviously, with the craft community, they work from home and the materials are locally available. So somehow we kind of approached the government saying that, see, we need to kind of engage these people since they're working and they're working from home and that's allowed. So we managed to get the pass and we managed to travel and got the letter. In fact, we were able to do a lot of other, development during COVID times and working remotely from the villages. And it has really bring forth, I think that time also it grew very much. And the atelier program came right after that. That's in 2020 when Wintertales also started. Nobody was doing any good business, but our crafts community then had a market and we organized Wintertales. And it just went on, and the atelier program happened. This was a part with the Meghalian Age Limited, where they came up with this program to support artisans community or any designers who practice crafts or practice indigenous practices from Meghalaya. So we got the support, and in collaboration with the Meghalian Age, we're able to kind of, the first year was around 22 ateliers, and the Meghalian Age store also came up, and based on that 22 curation, we managed to kind of, bring about their stories in the store. So we created the store not really to create, business mainly, but to tell a story. So we had created the store in such a way that we are able to also bring in, now 2 years, we've got a lot of these documented. And now I think with the second atelier, we are like more than 50 ateliers across Meghalaya. So
Thanks, Rita. That's very interesting because the thing is, like, you guys have been like quite at it, like, continuing the work. And that is also where, from what I understand, is that government came in much later, right? And
yes,
it just didn't happen before government stepped in post the COVID, not during the before the COVID, right?
yes.
Okay.
Obviously, because they saw our business was doing well. In fact, thankfully, with ICA Asai, that time when they started, they were sourcing a lot. And our business actually boomed during the COVID time because we were able to sell, that time. And everyone was free and that's all they could do. So it just helped in a way, yeah.
Yeah. So, since now that, government is also supporting and you guys are working together with this concept atelier, how has the attitude of the government changed?
I think now they're able to see because the store in New Delhi has really captured certain attention because there is a place where you see a lot of crafts, from across India. It's it's run by the DC Handicraft. So every state will have, their own representation of the craft. But I think Meghalian Age, the store, we've been able to kind of share more experiences. We're able to do a lot more than just selling the products. And we've kind of, obviously, craft will have to kind of change. Earlier the Emporium was selling craft at a very, subsidized value, and there was no value at all. So I think bringing in design is very important. Earlier it was just government doing it at whatever the sourcing level that they could, but now we've really worked from the tools, we've worked from the ground, in fact, to kind of push the artisans. Really, they need that kind of a, connect, because at their level in the village, they would just do a certain thing. Communication is a problem and exposure is one thing.
I
So
see. Okay, so Swati is back, so I'll hand it over to her. But Swati, before you do that, can I ask one question?
Yes, yes, sure.
So, so I'm taking a chance with Rida. So, so and also like from what we know is that Meghalaya government is also moving towards more progressive, like design policy is going to be implemented. So, what are your plans with regard to that?
So we were looking at actually to support mainly because see for us with whatever we've done from the beginning is support local community, bring out the craft, and obviously with all this there are challenges, but we are able now to look forward because I think over the years now we are able to kind of bring more younger people in this. In fact, we are collaborating a lot, and the design policy also recently now with NID coming in, they've been trying to kind of shift a little bit and concentrate more on implementing something which can really benefit the local community and standardize certain needs, because when you look at the way we look at the policies which have not been followed over the years, so we've not been able to implement much, and that's why now with Meghalaya government we've just recently got the GI tag for the black pottery, which is very unique, also with the Dakmanda in Garo Hills. So they're pushing the craft. I feel like all this, we should take it as an opportunity as designers, as creative community. We should kind of take this as a challenge for us also and introduce something which can actually create a meaningful impact, especially when you talk about institutions like NID, NIFT, right from schools and colleges. In fact, we're looking at it actually to collaborate more, bring in more of that input, and bring that the research bit, also the documentation in the right way, because it's not been done in the right way. There's not been a proper channel for it. So there are lots to be done. And local people here also in Meghalaya, I feel like they've been, independently doing their own thing. The government is really pushing entrepreneurship. Now with Prime Hub coming in, there's a lot of push from the government side also to support local entrepreneurs and support them. So there has been a lot of these interventions, and we are also looking out in whichever way that we can grab these opportunities and, support further. And I feel like there's so much of an unemployment in Meghalaya. There's so much of lack of, that awareness within the community itself. So we need to kind of look into that thoroughly. And I feel like in the further looking at this program, we would try to engage as much as we can to collaborate more within the community and enrich this further.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rita, because currently you guys are the leading star for us in the Northeast. So thank you so much and all the best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Margaret. And also very inspiring, because of the Tribal Forum. I feel like this platform has really made a meaningful thing also for enterprises like us. So
So
thank
true.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, over to you, Swati. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, dear audience, do we have any questions? If you have, you may please come forward, or you can put it in the chat box. Okay, so I shall ask my question. How have you been able to get the young people get into the fold, since most these days don't tend to, they tend to stay away from the craft sector?
We have been really pushing internships with Dakti. So a lot of young students are coming in. We're engaging a lot of students. Now, since NIF is in Shillong now, we've been trying to get a lot of students from there. We've had students from IICD. We are open for internships and for people coming from anywhere to come and learn. So that's one way. And also now with our team here we have a good design team, and they are also very keen, and I feel like it's challenging for the younger designers to take these challenges, but I can see that through these trainings that they've put in, our reports have come up. So it's a relationship you built over the years, and that has been, whether young or old, I think it's the way you build that relationship, how you communicate with them. Yeah.
Thank you. Before we close this session today, last, I would ask you to say a few words for our young designers for inspiration.
Okay. So, see, for us, Dakti, the journey has very very much taken us, it's organic. We didn't really plan, and also we didn't expect that Dakti would become, now at this point where we are able to engage so many people. Um, so with the younger generation, I feel like for them, it's always important to kind of understand the passion that they have, and also they need to kind of bring in that learning, openness to learn. I feel like patience is one thing that they need to have, and they need to kind of also push themselves and engage themselves in doing more of a practice rather than just the younger generation now don't practice much. So I feel it's important that they do that, and they engage themselves and try to find out more about especially what they have, be it in, I'm not just talking about Meghalaya, but in any part of the world. In fact, wherever we come from, we have to look at the environment. I think the environment is always talking to us. For me, it's always nature. So I feel like nature has its way to communicate, and I think with the younger generation, I feel they're most sensitive to that, and yeah, the way we learn is also shifting. So I feel like we need to kind of bring in and engage with them in a more interesting way, as we've done, I think, with a few colleges and schools in Meghalaya. We should build that platform further with the younger generation. And anybody else, I think if Peter is also here, since you've been with Dakti, you can also probably contribute.
Yes, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for your insightful and inspiring presentation on Dakti crafts. Your passion for preserving Meghalaya's rich cultural heritage through design is truly commendable. Your work in collaborating with local artisans to create beautiful and contemporary products while honoring traditional techniques is a testament to your dedication. We were particularly impressed by your emphasis on the community empowerment and sustainable practices. Your presentation has undoubtedly sparked a renewed interest in Meghalayan crafts and culture amongst our audience. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. We look forward to seeing the continued growth and success of Dakti Crafts. To all our attendees, thank you for your engagement and thoughtful questions. Your support is crucial in amplifying Indigenous voices and stories. Thank you once again, and hope to see you at our next session.
Yes, thank you.